Hello, I'm Skip Yolberg, Chief Executive Officer of Grant Memorial Hospital.
We are excited to serve you with our newly renovated private inpatient rooms, comprehensive rehabilitation services, state-of-the-art imaging suite including 3D mammography, the only mother-infant care center in the Potomac Highland region, specialized clinics such as orthopedics and general surgery, and now our new infusion and cancer center in partnership with WVU Cancer Institute. To all our friends, thank you for choosing Grant Memorial Hospital.
Welcome everyone again to another episode of Explore Grant County, and I am really excited today because we are beginning our election coverage, and I have it's our first election interview. Tara Pratt, thank you for coming in. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here today, JR.
So what are you running for?
I'm running for county commissioner.
Okay.
For the Union District.
Okay, for the Union District. And for those that don't know, there are three districts. Milroy, Grant, Union.
Yeah.
Okay. I knew that much. That was good. So what is the first thing that kind of prompted you to run for Grant County Commissioner?
I have lived in Grant County all my life, and I feel like it is a great place to raise your family. And when my children grow up, I want them to feel like they can stay here in Grant County. I want them to feel like there are enough job opportunities. There are great schooling opportunities. And I want to be a part of helping Grant County build that and prosper.
Yeah, excellent. I mean, that's our goal for our kids, is to always that they have it better than us. So it is important that we bring commerce and everything here to the county. So that is good. So looking at yourself, and this is very hard sometimes for us to do, what do you think your biggest strength will be for the county if you are elected as commissioner?
I'm a very easygoing person. People can come and talk to me and feel like they can have a conversation with me. I feel like I'm a good listener and that I have an open mind. You know, I can look at both sides of the story and see, the whole picture, not just be one-sided and ignore the other.
Because there are always two sides to every coin.
Yes.
That's hard for some of us to see sometimes. And so on the flip side of that, what would you say your biggest weakness is?
My biggest weakness is that I'm an overthinker. I reprocess everything over in my mind over and over. And it could be a day later, 2 days later, a week later. It just out of nowhere pops up, and I'll go over it over and over again. And sometimes it's hard to turn that off.
I'm trying to figure out, like, should I have said this? Should I have done that?
Yes.
And it's one of those things where, like, the whole Monday morning quarterback thing, where you can always second guess after it's happened. Did you make the right decision? Did you say the right thing? And that's good, because at least you're trying to, better yourself. So that is a good thing. So in Grant County, it's a great county. It seems to be moving forward. But if you had to look at Grant County and say, there is one major issue that really seems to be affecting our county, what would it be?
From what I've heard from citizens that I've talked to, a lot of people are mainly concerned with broadband. And that can be the root of a lot of our problems, not all of our problems. But with job growth, businesses have to have reliable internet. And a lot of areas in Grant County still do not. If you live in the city limits, you have the option of Shintel, and it is a little bit better than Frontier. But if you live way out in the country like I do in Sheer, you could wake up one morning and, you don't have phone, you don't have internet, you don't have anything. And, that's a major concern for a lot of people. And like where I live in Sheer, we have no cell service. So if you have an emergency, and this has happened to us before, we've had to drive so far out the road to call 911 because you have no other option.
So, and with, like, I'm thinking, I'll be asking Board of Education people this, but with the not the homeschooling, but the virtual schooling and things like that, it's got to be a real problem for those that have just terrible service. So, yeah, that is a very good issue. I believe I read in the press, and don't remember what week it was, but the CEO of the hospital has retired, and we have appointed a interim CEO. So if you're elected, I know this is a lot of ifs, but if you're elected and we still are under an interim CEO, what would be one of the qualities that you would look for a CEO of Grant Memorial Hospital?
Someone that interacts well with the employees. I think that's a concern with some of them that I've spoken with, that they like having someone that, comes around and mingles with the employees and talks to them and, asks them, what they can improve, what changes, they feel are important. So someone who works well with the employees and would interact well, even with the public, people that, have questions, who want to come in and talk to them and have concerns.
Yeah. I mean, you almost have to have that door open policy. Mm-hmm. Come on in, talk it over, let me know. Another hot button issue, whatever, is the ambulance situation.
Yes.
With Pendleton County. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, I think it's great that we have the hospital here. Mm-hmm. And I know you don't ever want someone not being able to get ambulance service. So what would be a good solution for that?
Honestly, I'm not sure what the best solution would be. Our ambulance is stretched to the limits. We are a rural community, just the same as Pendleton County and most surrounding areas. I think it'll always be an issue just because of, how many patients that we have in the area that are Medicare, Medicaid, and those types of insurances do not pay very well. So it'll always be an issue for us that our ambulance service struggles. I think that maybe our commission, along with Pendleton County's commission, should probably get together and come up with a solution together that fits for both of us. Because you can't leave someone that has a need.
Yes.
Without that.
I mean, the last thing that any of us want is someone dying because they couldn't get an ambulance.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously. But obviously, I also understand it's kind of a haul from Greene County to Pendleton County.
It really
especially
is.
Depending on where it is, it can be really a haul.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was something that I saw, and I was like, it's a very unique situation when you're in a small community, and the job situation. Mm-hmm. You seem to have a lot of people that are just not wanting to work for whatever reason. I know everyone gives a reason.
It's been a real struggle lately. I've seen a lot more businesses looking for employees, and it's like constantly the same job over and over every month. They're still looking. Maybe they find someone, they come and work for a week or two, and then either they've gotten enough cash for whatever they need and they just quit, or the job just doesn't fit for them. But it's a real struggle. Yeah,
and it is an employee's market right now. I mean, I know that for sure. But is there some way that I guess like the commissioners could make the ambulance more appealing? Because to me, that's a job that you need. I mean, that's a need.
Yeah.
Not just, I need someone to sell me my coffee in the morning. No, that's a life and death need.
It is. And you need strong employees to be ambulance workers and EMS personnel. It's a job that I probably wouldn't want because of what you deal with on a daily basis. You come up on a scene, you don't know what you're dealing with. Some of them may have PTSD
yeah.
afterwards because of some of the things that they see on scene.
Well, you don't know what you're going to see. Having worked, and I don't know if you knew this, I worked in the emergency room for 8 years. That was, it was interesting because you'll see people who have the sniffles that come in the middle of the night or whatever. You see those. But then you see the gunshot wound, which thankfully does not happen around here. But I was on call for 2 gunshot wounds. The bad car accident. I mean, they see some stuff that I'm sure affects them, but it's a need and it's a calling. And so, sweetening the pot. I don't know if there's an answer because I know everyone's on a budget too.
Yes.
And that's what makes it hard.
It does. And I mean, we struggle the same with hospital employees, the same. You know, we have to compete with Winchester, Morgantown, you know, even Garrett County or Allegheny County, because they are able to fund their hospitals better. They're bigger areas. You know, they have more job
commerce,
job opportunities. And it's hard for us to compete with that.
So, and here's the question, and maybe you don't know this, and maybe it's not even the realm of commissioner, but it just kind of jumped off at me. They hire traveling nurses,
Mm-hmm.
and the traveling nurses get paid so much more. So much more. Is there not a way that we can up the pay for the people here so they don't have to be traveling nurses, which are paid because they pay for housing and everything?
Yeah, they
and
pay for everything.
That always seemed weird to me that, okay, we need nurses, so we're going to hire a traveling nurse for, I don't know, double. It might be, I don't know. Why can't that be used towards just hiring local nurses?
I wondered the same thing.
So if you win and get in there, look at that for
Yeah. It does make you wonder why we can't offer a better package. I mean, I know the sign-on bonus seems like a good idea, but some places are like divvying it out. Like when you first get hired on, you get a portion of that. Then after X amount of weeks, you get another portion of that. And then after X amount of weeks, you get another portion, which I guess could work, but more people are actually looking at the long picture. They just don't want an upfront bonus. They want to continue having that decent pay throughout their lifetime or the amount of time that they're here, not just for the first 6 months or the first year.
So as part of doing our election coverage, I sent out a question to the viewers of Explore Grant County. Listen, view, like, follow, do all that stuff. We want tons of hits on this. So we said, ask a question. You and the public, ask a question to our candidates. And one of it was a pretty good question. It was actually directed to you personally, which I will tell you at this time. All the candidates will be asked the same questions except for the personal question. So that way it's, we're not picking sides or anything. So it'll be the same questions. So the question that they had for you was, as co-owner of the Grant County Press, how can you offer transparency if you're elected and make sure that there's no conflict of interest in your reporting?
Okay. So at the Grant County Press, I am co-owner, which means I help take care of the business part. But as far as the day-to-day functions and putting together the paper, I take care of the advertising side. And I do a lot of the job work where like people get business cards, invitations, that kind of thing. Erin is our reporter, and honestly, nobody at the office tells Erin how to do her job. She goes to the meetings, she records them, she, does her thing. And she doesn't come to us and say, well, how do you feel about me writing this? Or how do you feel, that if this is written correctly? She's professional. She knows what her job is and she does it. And, I don't tell her that. She doesn't, come to me and ask me if it's okay that she writes this story. So I feel as far as transparency, I don't deal with that side of the paper. So,
it's not like she's going to come in and you're going to squash a story because it sheds a negative light on the commission's decision or something.
Yes, that's correct. Because, here's an example. Some people get mad because their name's in the magistrate's report. They don't want anyone to know they were speeding or talking on their cell phone.
I think I've only had that happen to me once. It was a speeding ticket. Yes, it was me.
But we take it as it is. If the name's on the list, we take it and we publish it. Even if it's one of our own. We've had people in the office who've been in the magistrate's report for, multiple things. So, as far as transparency, that there goes to show that, we're not hiding from anybody.
Okay. So to wrap it all up, and once again, thank you very much for coming in and taking the time to do this. Go ahead and explain to people why they should vote for Tara. Why it's your chance to get it out. Because, honestly, it's like, I know Tara. Yeah, I'm going to vote for her. Mm-hmm. Well, what does Tara stand for? That's what we're trying to get out for this. So go ahead, Tell the people why should they vote for you for Grant County Commissioner?
Oh, it's so hard to sell yourself. I am a lifelong Republican. I have lived in Grant County all my life. I raised my children here, and I'm a business owner here. I feel like my job at the press office, where I interact with people daily, business owners, officials, regular citizens every day, I kind of feel that helps me to be able to build relationships, to be able to sit down and talk with people and understand and, help them deal with the issues going on in our county. I feel like that gives me a little insight to what's going on in the community that, maybe someone else might not have, because I am in the public every day. I am, there at the office talking with people out in the public. That's my job. That's what I do.
Okay. Tara, thank you very much. Good luck. When is the voting date?
It is May 10th, I believe, the second Tuesday in May.
Okay. So hit the polls. We are going to be interviewing, if they agree, everyone that runs for commissioner, all fair. So we want to give everyone equal time. And like I said, the questions will all be the same. But we encourage you, follow, explore Grant County. We will be doing the commissioners, the county clerk, the Board of Education. So far, everyone has agreed. So really thank you to that. And we'll post them, and then everyone can make an informed decision.
Okay.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Skip Yolberg, Chief Executive Officer of Grant Memorial Hospital.
We are excited to serve you with our newly renovated private inpatient rooms, comprehensive rehabilitation services, state-of-the-art imaging suite including 3D mammography, the only mother-infant care center in the Potomac Highland region, specialized clinics such as orthopedics and general surgery, and now our new infusion and cancer center in partnership with WVU Cancer Institute. To all our friends, thank you for choosing Grant Memorial Hospital.